Get ready to see crocodile tears and tantrums as today we take a look at when Karens have to face their consequences in court. Will they escape the long arm of the law, or will justice be served? Let's find out. To kick things off, we have a tearful male Karen who's found guilty and sentenced to 43 years in prison for robbing NFL wide receiver Joe Gervickius. Do you think he regrets it?
Clearly, he didn't learn his lesson and was not rehabilitated, and I'm requesting that he receive the maximum sentence allowed by law. Unfortunately, my grandmother told me a long time ago, if you have nothing nice to say about somebody, don't say it, in your honor. At this point, I have nothing good to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. 7, the kidnapping, I sentenced you to 11 years, plus 3 years for the gun. Count 8, the having a weapon while under disability, I sentenced you to 36 months. Counts 9 and 10, there are no sentences because they merged with count 5. Count 11, the disrupting public service, a felony of 4th degree, I sentence you to 12 months.
43 and a half years.
I don't think there's any half. 43 straight, right?
Ooh, I'm here, man.
Can we do a fair trial in Jefferson County? But then another part of it is, if we have a concern, what's the alternative? Because then if we might get into a situation on the law where I'm supposed to weigh the pros and the cons. Ma'am,
Look at me.
ma'am,
He keeps turning.
ma'am, I told you once before, let me please help you understand. You can't just talk out like that, okay? If you can't handle him looking at you respectfully, all I can try to do is don't be in my courtroom, because he's going to keep doing it, particularly now that he knows that it irritates you. So you either are able to control yourself or you're not. And I would understand why you could not. I get that completely. But I can't have you talking up in court, okay? I need you to hear this. The next time it happens, there will be a consequence. You understand that?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Rhodes, you're smiling. I don't know why you're smiling.
Because I can.
Well,
Because I can. It's not a crime to smell.
it's not a crime to
Continue
smile,
what you were saying.
but it doesn't help you, all right, to irritate people.
All right.
And you have a lot at stake in this case.
It's not a crime to smell, is it?
I didn't say you were committing a
Okay
crime.
then.
I'm saying you're
Continue
not
what you were
helping
saying.
yourself.
Continue what you were saying. I'm allowed
done.
to smell.
I would suggest
All
you
right.
do what helps
Okay.
you, not what hurts you.
Okay.
That's
Do what I
all.
want to do.
Well,
Let's
do
get
what
that
you want to do.
understood.
That's fine.
Let's get that understood.
I understand not agreeing with your sentence, but you can't do this.
Appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court
This trespassing male Karen loses it when a judge interrupts him. If he thought he was in trouble before, he most certainly is now. Shortly after his little meltdown, he was sentenced to a year in jail.
There's 3 trespassing charges, 2 at the El Dorado and 1 at the Pepper Mill. He's going to be entering no contest pleas to those 3 cases. He also has a 30-day suspended sentence, and then the remaining 4 cases, jaywalking, paraphernalia, open container, and lying on a sidewalk, are all going to be dismissed pursuant to negotiations.
All correct, Judge.
Jill Drake is representing the state.
You want me to answer anything, or can I say something, Your Honor?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, all right.
After locating the case numbers, the judge just needs Lewis to enter his plea, making it official.
How do you plead to 3 counts of trespassing?
Okay, I guess. Can I clarify, though? I get that. Because I lived in the Midwest. There's not as much trespassing over there in certain things.
Sir, just answer the
I
question.
tried to check into
Sir, stop.
Judge Huback wants Lewis to stop discussing the facts of the case and enter his plea, since anything he says here today can be used against him in future proceedings. But he's not listening.
Sir,
You're guilty. Give me 20. You give me 20. What does it matter if you already have your mind made up? You don't want to hear my side.
that's
Guilty
it.
on 17 charges.
Deputy, take him back to his
Whatever
cell.
you want if you don't want to hear my side.
We're continued till Monday.
What's the point?
Get your act together for court.
But the poll book is completely off. Completely off.
Off by
That
30,000?
I'd say that poll book is off by over 100,000.
And
That poll book. Why don't you look at the registered voters on there? How many registered voters are on there? Do you even know the answer to that?
No, I guess I'm trying to get to the bottom
Zero.
of this here.
Zero. There's zero.
So, my question then is if the
Guess how many? Wait. What about the turnout rate? 120%.
Let's let Representative Johnson ask his question, please.
So the poll book number. Okay, there's two things that could happen here. Either the poll book number, if ballots were counted multiple times, there's two options. Option number one is that the poll book numbers are not going to match.
They don't.
The actual. Not by thousands and thousands of votes. That's not what we see right now.
Take
that's
a look
option number
again.
one.
Take a look again.
Option number two is that they essentially were filling in names of people who didn't vote.
Dead people too?
So is that?
Let's
I guess,
let
is that
Representative
your suggestion?
Johnson ask his question, and then when
I
he's
thought that
done,
was his answer. Okay.
Well, I guess that's my question here is why we're not seeing the poll book off by 30,000 votes. That's not the case.
What did you guys do? Take it and do something crazy to it?
I'm just saying the numbers are not off by 30,000 votes. So
I know what
are you
I
saying
saw.
that they're filling in?
I know what I saw, and I signed something saying that if I'm wrong, I can go to prison. Did you?
Karen tries to milk every last drop out of her ex-partner for their child. She doesn't want help. She wants to lounge around, living on his wage.
Well, good morning. I come here today to try to get his child support raised.
Okay.
We have one child, and I believe that he has some income that he's actually not reporting. We kind of try to make it work not too long ago, and when I was at his house, I found a bunch of graphic movies.
What do you mean make it work?
We've been separated for a long time. Our son's 11.
Okay.
But we kind of got back together, and he has a bunch of graphic movies in his house.
I'm afraid you're going to stab yourself in the eye with that pen.
Sorry.
I just don't want you to do that.
He's the main character on the movies with all these different women, and he is saying that he's that I can't be mad at him. It's not cheating if he's making porn, and some of them are in our bed. And I said, well, it doesn't work like that. You can't. Just because you're filming doesn't mean it's not cheating. And I said, you have to be getting paid for it to actually be a porn star. And he said he was getting paid for them, and there's tons of them. So I feel like.
So you believe he's getting paid from that?
Mm-hmm. And plus, his business, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's almost close to 100,000, give or take, maybe 10 to 15.
Okay.
So I feel like I get a measly $600 a month from him. I feel like
so
something's
that's how
not
much
right.
his child support is
Currently.
set at right now?
Yes.
Okay.
We went through mediation at the child support office.
Yeah.
So, but that was, he's.
How long ago was that?
He's 11, and I guess 10 years ago.
Oh yeah,
he was little.
That has been a while. You've been way overdue for a modification for a number of reasons. So about this income, is what she's saying true? Does it include that?
Well, it's payment in one way or another.
Is a yes or no?
No, ma'am, I'm not getting paid technically.
So that means you're lying and
So
you're
you're
cheating
doing it
on
for
me.
free? Well, you know what? Never mind. That's not my business. I'm sorry. That's not my business. So your business, where you do make the money, she's talking about the $100,000. Do you make $100,000?
No, ma'am, I have 85 to 90,000 on the high end on a good year.
Okay. All right. What is it that you do?
I'm a mechanic.
Mechanic. Okay. All right. So you said 90 on the high end.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor, is there any way that we could subpoena his financial records for the thing?
Well, you can. I'm not going to do a subpoena on anything like that. I don't want to see it. Yeah. You can do that though. Yeah. If it exists, you can do that. But subpoenas aren't free. So I hope you know exactly what it is that you're looking for.
Well, there's so many of them, and he told me that he's getting paid for them, and there's like thousands, not hundreds, thousands of DVDs with him in there on our bed.
I'll tell you what, once you find some sort of income, some paper trail that shows that, then if you were to bring it back in court, we could entertain it then. But as of today, unless you have some sort of proof that shows that he has income from that, and unless he tells me otherwise, I can't really go off of that. I can only go off of what he told me. And he said 90,000 on the high end. I think you're in pretty good shape. What do you do for a living?
I don't work. I take care of our kid.
So you're a stay-at-home mom?
Mm-hmm.
She was put on notice that there was going to be...
Even you don't testify to that.
An application.
The best you have testified to about notice is I do believe there was talks about application.
Exactly.
But I'm reading your words, right?
Exactly.
But I don't recall telling her specifically how the process works.
She was on
that
notice.
That is not
There's an
putting her on
application.
notice, Mr. Paulino. She's going to have to fill out a 10-page thing that asks her
That's not?
to list.
She can't go down to the condo place and get an application?
It's not.
This is standard practice, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Paulino, you're dead wrong.
That's your opinion.
No, that's my ruling, pal. And let me tell you something, Mr. University of Miami Law School. I taught at UM for many, many years, and you right now are embarrassing us. You do not show that kind of disrespect, okay? If you don't like what the judge is doing, then you take it to the next forum. But you do not sit here and say that's your opinion like a baby when a judge rules against. Don't even utter another word. You got a lot to learn about what it means to be a litigator and a lawyer.
I don't want to be...
Good, because you don't have it in you. But you got a lot to learn about what it means to be a member of the Florida Bar. And if you think that this kind of petulance and babiness on your part, to turn around and tell a judge who you disagree with, well, that's your opinion, is going to get you anywhere, you are sorely mistaken. If there's nothing you should have learned in the last 2 years as a law student, there's something you should have learned as a human growing up, that you do not show that kind of disrespect. You don't like it, take it to the hallway. But you do not look a judge in the face, because I don't care what you think about me. You got to respect this process. And if there's anybody who I expect to respect this process, it's a second-year law student at the University of Miami. Verdict for the plaintiff, $450 and court costs.
Are you employed?
No.
How are you supporting yourself?
I'm not.
Who's supporting you?
Nobody.
Well, what are you eating other than drugs?
I have food stamps.
I'm sorry, what?
I have food stamps.
Who's giving you food stamps? You don't have your child with you. Those food stamps are for your child.
Yes, ma'am. I just recently applied and I got approved for emergency food stamps.
I cannot understand a word you're saying.
I applied and I got approved for emergency food stamps.
I know people who really should have food stamps that don't get approved. You don't have your child with you. You're using meth. You're probably selling your food stamps for meth. And this is a tampering with a government record. I don't even know if you obtain your food stamps legitimately. What did you tell them in order to get food stamps? Because you don't qualify. I think she's probably going to end up with another criminal case.
Yes.
Because I don't know a government giving out food stamps to people who won't work. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't have your child with you. Somebody else is taking care of your child. Oh, no, not for me. Thank you.
I have to look for work. It's like one of the conditions that they gave me in order to get food stamp. I'm supposed to be going to the workforce.
Well, you're obviously doing a poor job of it, but I tell you what, you're in this court, you're going to have employment. I'm not going to, the length of probation is outside the agreement. So it's going to be more than 4 years in this court, because she has a lot of work that needs to be done to, I don't know why you're giving me the attitude.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm sorry.
Yes, you are. Either that or it's because you're high. I don't know which one it is, but you're giving me attitude, and that attitude will most likely be readjusted by me at the Bexar County Jail. I don't know if your attorney told you this, but I can send you to the Bexar County Jail as a condition of this probation, and I can also send you to the state jail facility as a condition of this probation for attitude readjustment. Do you want that?
No.
All right, I'm going to sentence her to 6 years deferred adjudication. You're getting a job, and there are plenty of jobs that are available. You're going to knock your pride aside, and if you're going to be flipping burgers at McDonald's or working on fries, you're going to be the best fry person you can be until you move up. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
9th grade.
9th grade. Why did you drop out? What were these problems? You using drugs?
No, not necessarily. Just like things that were going on with my mom's marriage and everything else.
And what's that tattoo on your neck? All right. People love to put down sands on their bodies because they can't remember them. All right, it's going to be a $1,500 fine probated, proof of employment, and it's going to be proof of full-time employment within 15 days. If you have to get 2 part-time jobs, you will get 2 part-time jobs for the court.
This Karen can't believe the judgment given against her and flat out tells the judge she's wrong. But when the judge holds her in contempt of court, things get fiery. Wait for it.
Personal life is
No.
your business, John. It has nothing to do with
Miss
you
Hardwick,
boys. No.
you will be held in contempt of this court if you become disruptive.
I don't care. I haven't done anything to this court. I haven't done anything to him.
She will be arrested for contempt of
It doesn't
court.
make any difference.
You will serve 10 days for contempt of court. You go now.
With all of me.
Good afternoon, Judge Karen Stevens. In pro per for my motion for sanctions against Mr. Nicoletti for this vexatious and frivolous PPO.
I'm sorry, on his what?
I have a motion for sanctions against...
I know that. And the purpose of the sanctions are based on what?
It was a frivolous and vexatious PPO based on nonsense. I am not stalking Mr. Nicoletti.
I haven't signed a PPO.
His petition for a PPO. Let me...
Okay, were you served?
No, I wasn't, but may...
No, you may not. How can you ask to sanction someone when you haven't even been served?
That's the point.
Stevens, do not interrupt me when I'm speaking, ma'am.
I have a constitutional right to be heard.
On what basis? There is no case before me, ma'am, other than the fact that you filed this frivolous motion, taking up this court's time for no good reason other than your own personal vendetta against this man for whatever reason you may have, and I really don't care because it does not involve me or my court. However, had I issued a PPO, you would have a basis to be before me. I did not issue a PPO. He did not pursue his right to a hearing on the PPO. You were never served, and here you are taking up my time so that you want me to chastise him and make him pay money? No, ma'am. Your relief is denied, and in addition to that, I am sanctioning you with costs of $500 forthwith to the county clerk's office.